everyone. This is Janagiraman, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering in St. Joseph Institute of Technology. And today I'm here to explain about a concept in DBMS, that is a SQL, Structured Query Language. Okay, so let's try to learn about what is SQL. So SQL, so S stands for structure, Q stands for query, so L stands for language. So structure, query, language. So where SQL is being used? So SQL is a database language. It's a database language where you can retrieve the data and manage the data in RDBMS. So in RDBMS, for retrieval and management of data, you can use SQL. Okay, so okay then. So you may have a doubt, what is RDBMS? So RDBMS is a relational database management system wherein you can store the database in the form of a tables. You can have a multiple tables under a common database. And before RDBMS, we had a file system. So file system has a lot of drawbacks compared to RDBMS, wherein RDBMS you can store in the form of tables, whereas in the file system you can store in the form of file format. So you need a separate application to open a particular file in file system, and many more drawbacks are there. So when you store data in the form of tables, you can easily retrieve and you can manage data. That's why we are preferring RDBMS more than a file system. Okay, so we have some SQL commands. SQL commands. Generally, we use DDL, DML, DCL, and TCL. So these are some SQL commands. So DDL stands for Data Definition Language, DML stands for Data Manipulation Language, DCL stands for Data Control Language, TCL stands for Transaction Control Language. Okay, that abbreviation itself has its own meaning. Hope you could able to relate with that. So let's see all these commands one by one: DDL, DML, DCL, and DCL. So first, let's see what is DDL. So as I already said, DDL is Data Definition Language. So using DDL commands, you can create the structure of a table. I already told you in relation database, we are going to store database in the form of a table. So DDL is used to create the structure of a table. Structure of a table. Okay. So in DDL further are some more commands as well. So DDL commands are and the first command is create, and the second command is alter, third command is rename, and the fourth command is truncate, and the last command under DDL commands is, I'll repeat again. So these are the DDL commands: create, alter, rename, truncate, and drop. I will see these commands one by one. Let us first see what is create. So using create DDL commands, you can either create a database or you can either create a table as well. So see, we have many database management systems, right? Mostly students used to use Oracle or MySQL. In their curriculums, they would have been mentioned that you can do the lab exercises using MySQL or Oracle. So these are the major DBMS software we used to follow, right? According to our languages, these commands slightly vary. For example, when you are using Oracle, the syntax will be slightly different. For example, you need not to create any database. You can directly create a table and you can insert the values in Oracle. But whereas in MySQL, it doesn't allow to create a table. First, you have to create a database. After creating the database, you have to use the database, and inside the database only you can able to create the tables. So that's the difference between the creation of a database in a Oracle and MySQL. So in MySQL, you must create a database, and then only you can able to create the tables. So first, let's know how to create a database. So create a database. So there are syntax for everything. So for creating a database, create database name. This is a general syntax for creating a database. Okay, create is a keyword, database is a keyword. The database name is the database name that you are going to create. So for example, let me create a database called as a database file. Okay, so you have to use create database. So db5. So here db5 is my database name. Okay, so create is a keyword, database is a keyword. So I created the database, right? Then I have to use the database. So how can I use the database? Means again I have to follow a syntax called use database name. Okay, so how can I use this particular database db5? So you have to use a keyword use. What is the database name? db5. So now we are into the database db5. So now you can able to create the table inside the database. As I am talking about MySQL, wherein Oracle you can create the table without creating a database. Okay, fine. So we are in the database db5. Now we are allowed to create the tables inside this particular database. So how to create a table? Again, there is a syntax for creating a table. So for creating a table, so syntax is creating table. The syntax for creating table is create table name, open bracket, then column name 1, data type, size of the data type, comma. Okay, again column name 2, data type, size, comma. So you can create n number of columns as your query demands or as your table demands. Okay, so column name n, data type, size. So the last column should not contain any comma. So because that is the last one, to indicate that you should not have any comma. Then again you started with the open bracket, you should end with the open bracket, then the semicolon. So this is the syntax for creating any table. So you have to follow this syntax for creating a table. Now you may have some doubts. So what is that data types that we can use in DBMS? See, you might have studied C programming, Python. So almost data types are common. Here also data types are pretty common as like other languages, but still I'll let you know what are the data types being used here. So the data types used here is integer, float, and mainly character or string. Okay. Suppose if you are using a string as a data type, you have to use varchar char varchar 2. If you want to use string as a data type, you can either use character varchar varchar 2. But there is a slight difference between Oracle and MySQL. If you use MySQL, the MySQL does not support varchar 2. It supports character and varchar. So I suggest you that if you use MySQL, you just go for a varchar for string data types. If you use Oracle, you just go for varchar 2 as a string data type. Okay. Even if you use a varchar in Oracle, at the runtime it changes it as a varchar 2. So it is better to use varchar 2 in Oracle and varchar in MySQL. So I hope you understand. For string data type, you have to use varchar in MySQL, varchar 2 in Oracle. And again, float. See, if it is a Oracle, you can generally use it as a number. You need not to specify it as a integer or float. If you use MySQL, you have to specify. If it is an integer, you have to specify it as int. If it is a float, you have to specify it as a float float. Okay. Anything I'm missing means, yes, there is one more data type is there. That is called as a date. So date is a temporal data types because it keeps changing. So the temporal data types are date and time. So these three are called as a temporal data types. So suppose if you have a data but as a column name, then you can probably use the temporal data type date. Okay, clear? Okay, next. So let's see an example. Okay, so these are the data types. Let's try to create a table structure using this particular syntax. Okay. So let me try to create a table called employee. Okay, or else being a student, you can relate it very easily. So let us create a student table. Student table. If you want to create a student as a table, so what are the attributes it may contain? It may have a register number. The table may contain a register number, a name as possibility. Then a student must be belongs to a department, and of course his age is count. So age can be included, and many more fields can be included like date of birth, mobile number, then email IDs. So it is up to the user, whatever the data it needs to be collected from a student, so that can be set as an attribute. So every table will have a table name. So I'm here trying to create a student table. So what is the syntax you just follow? Create table name. So create table. So create is a keyword, table is a keyword. So table name is the name of the table. I said we are going to create a student table. STUDNT. Student is the name of the table. Then open bracket. So notes here column name. So here I am trying to add a register number, a name of the student, then the department. Okay. So only 3 fields I just want to add. So first column name is a register number. Register number, it should be a single name. There should not be space between the names. Okay. A register number. most of the colleges uses numbers as a register number, right? So probably you can use integer here as a data type. If your register number as a character, probably you can go for a varchar. So register number in the form of an integer. For integer, you need not to specify any size. You could ask me that, sir, the column name, data type, then size is there. The size is applicable only for the string data type. For integer data types, it dynamically allocates. So you need not to specify the size of an integer. You just put a comma because there is a continuation of other data type as well. Then column 2. So as I said, name is the next column I just want to include. So name. So name will be in the form of a characters, right? So of course I have to use. I'm using MySQL, so I'm using a varchar. If you are using a Oracle, probably you can go for a varchar too. So varchar, mostly names will have a maximum of 30 characters. So again, there is one more column is there. So I will separate that with a comma. And then the third attribute for a student is department. So DPT is my column name. Column names are also called as attributes. So again, a data type for department is varchar, maybe a 50. This is my last column, so there won't be any comma here. Just close that and put a semicolon. The table will be created. If you use these statements, a student table will be created. I'm sure. So it will show on message like table created. See again, we are in DDL, right? So DDL, we can create a table structure. Okay, we can't insert any values into the table. We are just creating the table structure. So a structure would be created. What is the structure? First register number. Next name. Next department. So using create commands in DDL, we created the table structure. We have just created the structure. Okay, right. Next command is called as alt command. Maybe from here you can ask me a question, sir, you created 3 columns. The columns are also called as attributes. So you created 3 columns. If I want to add 1 more column or 2 more columns, is it possible? Yes, it is possible by using alter command. So using an alter command, you can add a column, or else you can delete a column, or else you can modify the data types in the column as well. All 3 is possible by using a alter command. Okay, so alter command is used to alter the structure of a table. So we already created a structure by using DDL. So that structure you can alter by using a alter command. And firstly, by adding a column, you can alter the structure. Okay, sir, how can I add a column? Again, there is a syntax for that. The syntax for that is alter table name. So what you are going to do? I'm going to add a column. So you should use a keyword add. Okay, you're going to add a column. Okay, so what column you are going to add? So that column name, and of course data type of the particular column, data type and size, semicolon. Okay, so clear? So alter command is used to alter the structure of a table. Here first I'm adding a column with the structure of the particular table. So the syntax for this alter table name add. The reason for add here is we are adding a column name and data type size. This is a syntax for adding a column to the already existing structure. Okay, so here I just want to add one more column, that is called as a age. Already I have 3 columns: register number, name, department. I just want to add one more column, that is called as a age. So the structure was already created. I just want to alter the structure. Probably I can use this particular syntax: alter table. What is the table name? Student. So you are going to add a column. So specify the keyword add. So what is the column name that you are going to add? Age. Okay, so age will be numbers, right? You just can go for probably if someone asks me what is your age, I just say 34, 35, will be in an integer format, right? I will not go for a floating type like 35.6, 37.4. So it's a common sense that you can use a integer as a data type. So for age you can use integer. If you use integer, you need not to specify size, right? So that's it. So you just put a semicolon, it's done. Once this query is being executed, what happens now? The structure gets changed. It will be changed like this: register number, name, department and age. Sir, you can ask me a question. Sir, everything, the structure is being created and it is getting changed. How can I see those changes now? Probably you have to use a command called desc, then table name. If you use this particular command, you can able to see the structure which was created. So desc table name. So what is a desc? Description. Table name here, it is a student. If you give desc and student means this structure will be visible for you. So what is the structure we have created as of now? Register number, name, department and age. So this is what we have created. This will be displayed when you use desc student. Okay, clear? As I already said, what are alteration? Either you can add a column or you can delete a column or you can modify the data type in a column. Okay, the second one is you can delete as well, but in DDL commands you should not use the word delete, rather you have to use the word drop. So instead of delete I have to call it as a drop. So you can add a column or else you can drop a column. So already I have 4 columns: register number, name, department, age. Now I don't want this particular field, that is age. Can I able to drop it now? Yes, you can able to drop it. For that again you have a separate syntax. So what you are going to do? You are going to alter table name. What you are going to do? You are going to drop. What you are going to drop? You are going to drop a column. So column name, semicolon. Okay, well, this is a syntax for drop a column in MySQL. In MySQL, suppose if you use Oracle, the statement will slightly vary. The statement will slightly vary. Here, between the drop and column name, you will have a special keyword called as a column. Okay, but I'll go with MySQL. For dropping a column, alter table name, drop column name. I said I just want to drop this particular column age. Okay, so alter table. These are keywords, I cannot change it. So what is the table name? Student. Drop. Okay, which column I want to drop? I want to drop this particular column age. So what is the name of the column? Age, semicolon. It's done. Okay, the same has to be used in Oracle. You have to use a keyword here, column. Okay, hope you understand how to drop a column. Now if you give DESC student, then these three columns only will be visible. One is a register number, next is a name, and the third one is a department. So we have seen two commands under the alter. One is adding a column, the second one is dropping a column. As I said, you can modify the column data type as well. So that is called as a modify. So how to modify? Similarly, the same syntax. The only thing that differs is instead of drop, it will be modify. Then in the column name, you can use the data type which you want to modify, and the size as well. For example, here I given a department size as 15. If you want to modify this size into a 60, what you can do now, probably you can use a alter command, alter table name. What is the table name here? Student. So alter table student, modify. What column you want to modify? The department. So department. So you want to modify the data type size. You are 50, you just change it as a 60, then it's done. So the department data type size will be changed as a 60. That you can verify by using this command. So what is that command here? DESC student. If you just type this particular command now, so all the columns that are created, that is a structure being created, that will be visible along with the data type. For example, for integer it will not specify any size. For a name it specifies the size as 30. For department it will specify the size as 60 because we are modified from 50 to 60 using a modify command. Hope you now understand. You can alter the table either by adding a column or by dropping a column or by modifying the data type associated with the particular column. So all these modifications are possible using alter command. Then the next command is called as a rename. So rename command is used to rename the table name. So we have already created a table called student here, right? That student table can be renamed. Okay. So again there is a syntax for renaming. Let me specify it here. Okay. Syntax for renaming is rename. Okay. Old table name. To new table name. So we already seen two commands under DDL. One is a create, the next one is a alter. Now let's learn what is a rename under a DDL command. So rename. So rename command is used to rename a table name. So we already created a table called student, right? If you want to change the name of the particular table, you can probably use this particular rename command to change the name of the table. So for everything we have a syntax. To rename a particular table, we should follow some syntax as well. So rename table, old table name, to new table name. And this is the syntax for renaming a particular table. Rename is a keyword. Again, table is a keyword. Old table name is the name of the table that we have previously used. And to is a keyword. A new table is the new table name that you want to give it to a particular table. Okay, clear? For example, we already created a table called student. If I want to rename that student table into something different, maybe STUD, so I just have to follow the same syntax. Rename, because it's a keyword, you cannot change it. Table, again table is a keyword, you can't change. What is the old table name? Student. To is a keyword. So, suppose I want to change the student into just in a shorter form, STUD. That's it, done. So now we have renamed the student table into STUD. Suppose if you give a DESC, see, STUDENT, probably it will show you some error like there is no such objects available. So what you have to do now, instead of student, you should replace that with STUD. If you give this particular command, then it will display whatever that we have created as a table structure, what we have created. Okay, register number, name, department. So this structure will be displayed. Clear? So now you are familiar with the create, alter and rename. Next, let's see what is truncate. So truncate is a command which deletes the records inside the table. Okay, so we'll create a table structure, then we'll insert some records, right? Maybe a class contains 65 students. All the 65 students' records will be inserted with the help of DML commands. But whereas now we are not aware of DML commands, maybe let us assume that the values are being inserted. So if you use truncate commands, all the records that we have inserted will be deleted. Okay, the structure will not get deleted. Only the records we kept inside the particular table will get deleted. That is, the objects will get deleted. The structure will not get deleted. So what does it mean? This is a structure that we have created for a student table. This structure remains same. Only the records that we have inserted under this structure will get deleted. So again, for a truncate, we have a syntax: truncate table. So what is the table name? That table name you want to specify. So this table name you have to specify. So here the table name is not student, because we already renamed that table to STUD. So truncate table STUD, if we give now, probably it will show that the objects are deleted. Okay, if you want to know whether the objects or records got deleted, again you have to just type DESC STUD. Okay, it shows whether the objects are available or not. Okay, clear? So truncate helps you to delete the objects or deletes the records inside the table, not the structure of a table. Okay, so then the next command is called as a drop command. Okay, again the syntax for drop is drop table. So table name, this drop command drops the entire table. It doesn't care whether the values are being inserted or not. It deletes all the records as well as the structure of a table. So if you give DESC student STUD, probably it will show some error like no such table is available. the table is deleted. Okay, so that is the way you can delete the table. So here you should not say it as a delete, rather you should use the word drop. So drop table name, which drops the entire table. So these are DDL commands. Create is used to create the database and as well as create a table under the database. Alter, you can alter the structure of a table. You can add a column, you can delete a column, or you can modify your data types of the column. Next, rename is used to change the name of the table which is already existing. Truncate is used to delete the values in the table or records in the table or objects in the table, not the structure of a table. Whereas drop command drops the entire table structure along with the values. Hope you are clear with the